A good mood is a wonderful thing. It makes the day brighter, conversations easier, and problems feel smaller. But here's the danger: if the only time you work hard, make good decisions, or take action is when you're in a good mood, you've made your emotions your boss. And emotions are terrible managers. They change by the hour. If you've been waiting for that right feeling before you start working on your goals, you've already lost ground. Life rewards action, not just inspiration. The marketplace doesn't care if you woke up happy or tired. It pays you for results. The seasons change whether you're in the mood for them or not, and opportunities pass whether you feel ready or not. Think about it. If you only show up for your dreams when you feel like it, what happens the day you don't feel like it? The day you're tired, discouraged, or distracted, that's the day momentum stops. And it's always harder to restart than to keep going. Successful people understand that discipline beats mood every time. They've learned to work their plan on the good days and the bad days. They use mood as a bonus, not as fuel. Mood can give you a boost, but it's structure, your habits, your commitments, that carries you when the excitement wears off. Your goals don't care about your feelings, they care about your follow-through. Build a strategy that works in sunshine and in rain. Let your schedule tell you what to do, not your mood. Let your standards be higher than your emotions. You don't need to be in a good mood to make progress. You just need to decide that progress matters more than comfort, because moods fade. But the life you build with consistent effort, that lasts. Mood is a wonderful thing. When you're in a good one, the world feels lighter, the work feels easier, and even problems seem smaller. You've got more energy, more charm, and more patience. But here's the problem. Mood is temporary. It's like the weather. It can be bright and sunny in the morning, and by afternoon, the clouds roll in. If you've built your plans, your work ethic, or your commitment on the foundation of mood, you've built them on shifting sand. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent, if you choose to make it so. It's the steady road under your feet. It's the bridge that holds even when the storm is raging. Mood will tell you to sleep in. Discipline will get you up. Mood will whisper, do it later. But discipline says, do it now. Mood changes with the wind, but discipline stays when the winds blow hardest. If you've ever tried to build a big dream on nothing more than motivation, you already know the truth. It works for a while. When you're excited, you're unstoppable. When you feel inspired, the work flows. But the first bad day, the first setback, the first wave of tiredness, it all stops. You say, I'm just not feeling it today. And the problem is, one day becomes two becomes a week, and soon the dream you had is collecting dust in the corner. The people who get things done don't rely on mood to move them. They may enjoy the boost of a good mood when it comes, but they don't wait for it. They show up whether they feel like it or not. They've trained themselves to treat discipline like breathing. You don't debate it. You don't negotiate with it. You just do it. And because they do it regardless of how they feel, they move forward every single day. It's not that they never have bad moods. They do. It's not that they're always motivated. They're not. The secret is they've built habits and systems that work in any weather. They've decided ahead of time what matters and committed to it deeply enough that feelings aren't in charge anymore. Think about a farmer. He doesn't say, I'll plant seeds when I feel inspired. He plants when it's planting season, whether the sun is out or the rain is pouring. Why? Because he knows the harvest depends on consistent action, not convenient feelings. Success in any area, business, relationships, health, personal growth, works the same way. Discipline is like a muscle. It's not built in a single burst of enthusiasm. It's built in the quiet, unglamorous moments when you choose to act even when you'd rather not. Every time you do what's right over what's easy, you strengthen it. And the stronger it gets, the less you rely on mood to move you. Mood says, I'm tired, I'll skip today. Discipline says, I can be tired and still do it. Mood says, I'm not in the right headspace. Discipline says, the headspace will change once I start. You'd be surprised how often action comes before motivation. You start moving, and somewhere along the way, the energy shows up. The real gift of discipline is that it frees you from the trap of waiting for the perfect day, waiting for inspiration, waiting for the right mindset. While others are stuck in that waiting room, discipline takes you straight into the game. And when you look back, you'll see that it was the days you didn't feel like it that mattered most, because those days proved you were serious. So use your good moods when they come, but don't depend on them. Build something stronger. Build discipline so steady that it doesn't flinch when the mood swings. Let your choices be guided by commitment, not comfort, because moods will fade, shift, and come back again. but the life you build through discipline will outlast them all. The marketplace is a simple place, but it's not sentimental. It doesn't operate on how you feel in the morning, how inspired you are, or whether you're having a good day or a bad one. It runs on results. It doesn't ask if you're motivated. It asks if you delivered. It doesn't measure your intentions. It measures your outcomes. You can show up to work in the best mood of your life, smiling ear to ear, full of charm and optimism. But if the job you were hired to do doesn't get done, the marketplace doesn't pat you on the back for being pleasant. It keeps moving, and sooner or later, it finds someone who can produce what's needed. The currency here is performance, not feelings. Now, feelings have their place. A positive attitude can make the work more enjoyable. Enthusiasm can inspire others, but they're only multipliers when paired with results. The marketplace is like a scoreboard. It records the points you put up, not the excitement you felt while playing. Many people make the mistake of thinking the world will reward their effort alone. "I tried really hard" is not the same as "I got it done." The customer doesn't care how many hours you stayed up working. They care if the product works. The client doesn't care how nervous you were during the presentation. They care if the solution solves their problem. This is why discipline and consistency matter so much more than temporary bursts of inspiration. If you depend on your emotions to decide whether you'll produce or not, you'll have uneven results, and the marketplace notices. It notices who delivers every time, and it notices who's up one day and missing the next. Reliability becomes as valuable as talent, sometimes more. Think about a restaurant. You might have the friendliest waiter in town, someone who remembers every customer's name. But if the food takes too long to arrive or comes out cold, people stop coming back. The atmosphere might charm them once, but the experience has to be worth returning for. The same is true for you. Your personality might open doors, but your results keep them open. Charm can win the meeting. Competence wins the contract. The good mood gets you noticed. Consistent performance gets you remembered. And here's the tough part. Results have to be repeatable. One big win won't keep you afloat forever. The marketplace is constantly asking, "What have you done lately?" Not to be cruel, but because it's always moving forward. Yesterday's achievements are history. Today's delivery is what counts. This is why the most successful people focus on building systems that produce outcomes regardless of mood or circumstance. They don't just rely on inspiration, they rely on a process. They understand that emotions are like the tide, they rise and fall. If your work rises and falls with them, you'll be unpredictable, and unpredictability doesn't sell. Your value in the marketplace is a combination of skill, reliability, and output. Emotions can enhance all three, but they can't replace them. You can feel confident without delivering value, and the result will be the same as if you'd been unsure of yourself. Nothing changes until the work is done. So, here's the real lesson. Let your emotions fuel your effort, but don't let them decide whether you'll act. Build the habit of showing up and producing no matter what's happening inside. There will be days when you feel unstoppable and days when you feel like you're dragging your feet through the mud. But if you can deliver results in both seasons, the marketplace will notice, and it will reward you. The world isn't cold or unfair. It's consistent. It operates on a simple exchange, value for value. And value, in its clearest form, is the result you bring to the table. Everything else, mood, personality, even effort, is extra. You can be friendly, you can be optimistic, and you can be inspired, but never confuse those things with value. The real test is simple. Did you produce what you promised? Did you solve the problem? Did you meet the need? If the answer is yes, the marketplace will find you. If the answer is no, it won't matter how you felt along the way. Results are the language the marketplace speaks. Learn it, live it, and you'll always have a seat at the table. One of the most common ways people lose opportunities is by waiting for the right feeling. Tell themselves, "When I feel ready, I'll start." Or, "Once I'm in the mood, I'll do it." But here's the truth. If you wait for perfect inspiration, you'll wait forever. Life doesn't hand out ready feelings on schedule. An opportunity rarely knocks when you're in your most comfortable state. The problem with waiting for the right feeling is that feelings are unpredictable. You can wake up motivated, and by lunchtime, that motivation has vanished. Or you might be tired in the morning, but full of energy later in the day. If your progress depends on emotions aligning perfectly, you'll always be at their mercy. Here's the reality. Most of the great work in the world was done by people who didn't feel like it at the start. They began anyway. They put pen to paper. They made the call. They laced up their shoes, even when everything in them said, "Not today." And somewhere along the way, action created the feeling. That's the part people miss. Action comes first, motivation follows. Think about it like starting a fire. If you stand there waiting to feel warm before you gather wood and strike a match, you'll freeze. You've got to build the fire first, and then the warmth comes. Work is the same way. You don't wait to feel like working. You start, and the feeling of progress shows up to keep you going. Waiting for the right feeling also trains your mind to be lazy. Every time you give in to, I don't feel like it, you reinforce the habit of delay. Before long, you've conditioned yourself to think that not feeling like it is a valid reason to avoid action. That's dangerous because it means you'll only work on your goals in rare bursts, and those bursts are never enough to build something lasting. On the other hand, when you act regardless of mood, you strengthen discipline. You teach yourself that your commitments are stronger than your feelings. That's how trust in yourself grows. By proving over and over that you'll do what you said you'd do, no matter how you feel in the moment. I've seen people miss incredible chances because they were waiting for that perfect alignment of energy, clarity, and confidence. But perfect alignment is a myth. There will always be something slightly off: your mood, the weather, the timing, your confidence level. The people who win in life aren't the ones who feel great all the time. They're the ones who take imperfect action in imperfect conditions. And here's another truth. Once you start, the resistance often disappears. You might dread starting a project for hours, but the moment you spend 5 minutes on it, you feel better. You're no longer thinking about how hard it will be. You're too busy doing it. That's why just start is such powerful advice. Not start when you feel ready. Just start. When you think about your future, ask yourself, do I want to build it on the rare moments when I feel like it, or do I want to build it on steady, consistent action? One path is unpredictable, the other is reliable. One wastes months, even years, waiting for the mood to strike. The other moves forward every single day. The right feeling might show up tomorrow, or next week, or next year. But if you keep moving, you won't need it. You'll already be ahead, already building, already creating momentum. And momentum is far more powerful than a fleeting burst of motivation. It carries you through days when the feeling is nowhere to be found. So stop waiting. Stop telling yourself that you need to feel right before you act. Act now and let the feelings catch up later. Because every day you delay for the sake of mood is a day you can never get back. The clock doesn't pause while you wait for inspiration. The world keeps moving, and so should you. Momentum is a beautiful thing. When you have it, everything feels easier. The work flows, the results show up, and you almost forget how much effort you're putting in. Momentum can make a heavy load feel lighter and a long road seem shorter. But here's the truth. It's fragile. And the quickest way to kill it is to break your consistency. Momentum is built by steady, repeated action. It's like pushing a heavy wheel. At first, it takes a lot of effort to get it moving. You push, and it barely budges. But you keep at it, and soon it begins to roll. Once it's rolling, you don't need as much effort to keep it going. Just a steady push here and there. But the moment you stop pushing for too long, the wheel slows, then stops. And starting it again is always harder than keeping it going. That's the danger of inconsistency. You work hard for a while, you make progress, and then you pause. Maybe for a good reason, maybe for a bad one. It could be a day off that turns into a week, or a missed opportunity you never circle back to. And before you know it, all that momentum you built has slipped away. You're back at the beginning, facing the same uphill push as before. Many people underestimate how much damage a small break in consistency can cause. They think, I'll skip just this one day, or I'll get back to it next week. But habits are like muscles. They weaken when you stop using them. Even a short gap can make starting again feel heavier, slower, and more frustrating than it did the first time. The truth is, consistency is what protects momentum. It doesn't have to mean perfect performance every day. It means showing up in some way, no matter what. Even on bad days, you do something to keep the wheel moving. Maybe it's a smaller step, maybe it's less than you planned, but it's still forward motion. That's how you keep momentum alive. Think about exercise. If you work out steadily for months, your body responds. You get stronger, faster, healthier. But if you stop for a few weeks, you lose strength, stamina, and flexibility. And when you go back, the first few sessions feel like you're starting from scratch. Business works the same way. Learning works the same way. Relationships work the same way. In almost every area of life, momentum feeds on consistency. It's not enough to work hard in bursts. Sprinting toward your goals every now and then doesn't build the same momentum as a steady jog that never stops. In fact, the steady jog often gets you further in the long run because it's sustainable. You can keep it up without burning out, and each step builds on the last. And here's the hidden benefit of consistency: it builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you keep showing up, you prove to yourself that you can be relied on. You stop wondering if you'll stick with it this time because you know you will. That kind of self-trust is powerful. It makes the work lighter because you're not constantly fighting with yourself to begin again. Momentum is hard won and easily lost. If you've ever had it, you know how valuable it is. It turns effort into progress faster than anything else. But you can't treat it casually. You have to protect it with steady action. You have to decide that even on your worst days, you'll do something, anything, to keep moving forward. Because once momentum is gone, the road back isn't just longer, it's steeper. And every time you lose it, you pay that price again. The smarter choice is to guard it like a treasure. Keep it alive with small, consistent pushes. Never let the wheel stop rolling. In the end, success is less about the speed you start with and more about the pace you maintain. The right pace, kept up long enough, will take you further than any burst of energy ever could. Momentum will carry you, but only if you keep feeding it. And the food it lives on is consistency. A good mood is a wonderful thing. It's like sunshine on a workday. It makes everything feel lighter, smoother, and more enjoyable. When you're in a good mood, the conversations flow, ideas come easily, and the tasks in front of you seem less demanding. But here's the key. A good mood is a bonus, not the foundation. You can't build lasting success on something so temporary and unpredictable. If your entire plan depends on waking up cheerful and motivated, you've already set yourself up for trouble. Moods shift. They're influenced by things you can't control. The weather, the traffic, a conversation, even how well you slept. If your progress depends on those variables lining up perfectly, you're giving your goals a very unstable foundation. The people who achieve consistently understand that mood is nice when it shows up, but they don't rely on it to get things done. They have something stronger underneath: discipline, structure, and commitment. Those are the things that hold up under pressure, even when the day isn't going your way. Think of mood as the wind in your sails. On a good day, when the wind is strong, you'll move faster. But you can't depend on the wind to always be there. A skilled sailor doesn't stop moving just because the breeze dies down. He knows how to row, how to adjust, how to keep going no matter the conditions. Your discipline is the oar that keeps you moving when the wind isn't there. The danger of making mood your foundation is that it makes you unpredictable. You work hard when you feel great, but you slow down or stop when you don't. That stop and start pattern kills momentum. And once momentum is gone, it's always harder to start again. If, on the other hand, you've built your habits so they function regardless of mood, you keep moving every day. And that daily movement compounds into big results over time. I've met people who wait for that spark of inspiration before they act. They tell themselves, once I'm in the right mood, I'll start writing, or when I feel motivated, I'll get to the gym. But they don't realize that the mood they're waiting for often comes after they start. Action is the real spark. You pick up the pen, you lace up your shoes, you make the call, and suddenly the energy arrives. That's the trick. Treat your mood as a bonus, not a requirement. If it's there, enjoy it. Let it give you that extra push. But if it's not, move anyway. Do the work. Make the call. Stick to your plan. You'll find that progress can happen without the perfect emotional conditions. In fact, some of your most important work will be done on days when you didn't feel like it at all. When you remove mood from the foundation and replace it with consistency, something amazing happens. You become dependable not just to others, but to yourself. You stop wondering, will I feel like it today? Because you know you'll show up regardless. That reliability builds confidence, and confidence fuels long-term success. Mood can make the journey more pleasant, but it's not what gets you to the destination. What gets you there is the steady, repeated action of showing up and doing the work, whether you're feeling sunny or stormy inside. The bonus days, those high-energy, unstoppable days, are wonderful. They help you go a little further, maybe a little faster. But they're just the icing on the cake, not the cake itself. The truth is, life doesn't stop to wait for your mood to catch up. Opportunities don't pause until you feel ready. The clock keeps ticking, the seasons keep changing, and the people who move ahead are the ones who act in all conditions. They use mood when it's there, but they never depend on it. So enjoy the good moods when they come. They're a gift. But build your foundation on something sturdier. Build it on commitment, on habit, on the decision to act no matter what. Because moods fade, energy shifts, feelings change. But the work you do, the progress you make, and the life you build, those last.